Yo, yo. So we're gonna do Ordo Abchao, which is the last song on Solo Nice. Um, so it starts. This is verse one. The story begins like a Dickens novel. David Copperfield. I am born. And nah, nigga, we can't all just get along. 5996. AL, the year of light. Illuminati borders on a new world order. And the nigga fight the struggle, sorta, kinda, on some rapping shit. But real activists be on death watch, like Mumia Abdul-Jamal. Ain't this a bitch y'all figure? It only takes a trigger and 1298 plus tax to potentially murder 50 niggas. So motherfuckers better duck, like Daffy. Cause nowadays the average niggas think they Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid doing bids with no remorse. It's almost methodical. Education is false assimilation. Building prisons is economical. So young niggas in gang modules be giving more head than hair follicles. And niggas like myself know the ledge and still jump like Geronimo. Supreme mathematics and bad habits. Cause chasing cabbage keeps a nigga savage. Blame it on the disease. We all got the symptoms. Most of us niggas want to be pimps, but Uncle Sam really pimping them. The fuck? So Ordo Abchao was the last song on the album, and it's actually on your dollar bill. Well, Novus Ordo Seclorum is on your dollar bill, which is a newer order. Ordo Abchao is the theory that they had, which is order through chaos. So even with the Donald Trumps and all that. So I started, this is a literary bar for people that don't read books and think your rappers are smart. So I actually did Charles Dickens, David Copperfield. The actual book starts with I am born. So I said the story begins like a David Copperfield. The story begins like a Dickens novel. David Copperfield, I am born. That's everybody's story. If not, you're just dead. So I keep it very simple, like we are born, and then I go back into damn, I forgot he died now. Rodney King. Can't we all just get along? No, we can't. Niggas get fucked up and shot. It's not a fair world out there. So I start with Dickens. I go from Dickens to straight hood shit from the West Coast. Like, can't we all get along? And I say, no, we can't. So I am born, and nah, nigga, we can't all get along. Then I go into actually, I was talking about Illuminati and from valid sources 25 years ago when they were talking about what would be Illuminati. Rihanna's not Illuminati, and Jay-Z and Beyonce. So you're fucking morons with all the shit you talk about. So back when people were coming from those Masonics and all these systems and reporting about what the plans and the thoughts were, they were writing books, Behold a Pale Horse. So I said, I quote, they start from the year of light. So instead of, at the time it would have been 1996, like the Jewish calendar, they have their dates are different. From a Masonic enlightening, it was 5996. So 1996 was 5996 from a Masonic standpoint of when their years start. So I said 5996 AL, the year of light. Illuminati borders on a new world order. And a nigga fight the struggle sorta kinda on some rapping shit. So I'm saying, like, you know, I use these words, but I'm not out there, you know, taking the ultimate sacrifice. You know, the things that, you know, Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or Khalid Abdul Muhammad, like to go out here and other great soldiers that have stood, Black Panthers that went out here and fought for the struggle and suffered for the struggle. Mandela's, people like that. So I said, a nigga fight the struggle sorta kinda on some rapping shit. Cause real activists be on death watch, like Mumia Abdul-Jamal. Like the real soldiers is not rapping. The real soldiers have passed already. Or they sitting, you know, on death watch, or, you know, they still trying to get them out from Cuba, punk shit. You know, trying to get Shakurs and all that punk shit. Like the real soldiers sacrifice. We haven't made that ultimate sacrifice that a lot of, you know, amazing black men, people period, men and women have suffered and took the ultimate sacrifice to fight for our well-being. So I said, Death Watch like Mumi Abu Jamal ain't this a bitch off figure. It only takes a trigger plus $12.98 plus tax to potentially murder 50 niggas. So at the time when I wrote that, I was buying some bullets for my gun. I had an 11 shot Lorson. I had a Glock. I had 11 shots, and it was crazy to me to walk into any store, and it cost $13 for 50 bullets, and I just thought, wow, if I just walked around, I could pop 50 niggas for 13 bucks. Like, I got the gun, and I can go in here for 13 bucks and buy 50 fucking bullets and knock down. Like, that's crazy, that the lack of value of life. Like, for me, it was so weird. I remember, like, buying those bullets that time, and that's why I wrote it. So I said, ain't this a bitch off figure? It only takes a trigger and $12.98 plus tax to potentially murder 50 niggas. So motherfuckers better duck. Like, duck hide. Like Daffy Duck. Because nowadays, the average nigga think he Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Everybody out here, they the biggest trapper, the biggest murderer, whatever. Doing biz with no remorse. It's almost methodical. Like niggas, actually back then, niggas was going to jail and keeping it 100 and okay with it. I don't feel like it's the same anymore. You niggas tell a lot. You telling yourselves. Y'all niggas snitch immediately, which is crazy. I don't think it's cool, like shooting the extentation kid, but to go put it on Instagram and then you just run and told on yourself immediately, like really weird. Like the new crop of these niggas, you're not gangster. It's so pussy. Y'all niggas are snitches. And then you kill niggas for not good reasons and snitch on each other is weird. So anyway, education is false assimilation. Building prisons is economical. So young niggas in gang modules be giving more head than hair follicles. So what I'm saying there is the false premise of if you get a good if you go to school, you end up becoming part of society, and it's not true. They still shoot unarmed, educated black men. They still treat our sisters fucked up. They still treat Mexican people no matter what. Arabs, like whatever. The old rich people that happen to be America still has a problem with race, color, sexism, and all that. So you can get educated, and like Malcolm X used to say, you still just be a rich nigga, or educated nigga, you still a nigga. My grandma used to say that too. Building prisons is more economical. They privatize prisons, they make money off of us. So they have to make somebody lose. So they're gonna pick brown and black people to go to prison. And then I said, so young niggas in gang modules be giving more head than hair follicles. That was a really sad thing to say, is that some people get so colonized or institutionalized in prison that niggas start, like I've heard niggas say like boy pussy, like in prison, like no, it's just boy pussy. I'm like, there's no pussy in a boy. So if you fuck him in his ass, you're gay. Whether you pitching or catching, it's still, you still playing football, nigga. So that niggas give more head than a hair follicle. And then last part is, and niggas like myself know the ledge, like Rakim, know the ledge knowledge, and still jump like Geronimo. So that's about knowing what's good for you and still being ignorant. And then I say supreme mathematics and bad habits. So I know better, but I still like to drink liquor and I still fornicate. Like I have all this knowledge of self, but I'm not perfect. And I have all these bad habits that I continue to do. So I say supreme mathematics and bad habits, because chasing cabbage, chasing money makes a nigga savage. Blame it on the disease, because we all got the symptoms, which is, you can like, the reason why, we do a lot of the negative things in society, they're usually just tales of a bigger disease, that we all have symptoms of a bigger disease in our society. So I say, blame it on the disease, we all got the symptoms. Most of us niggas want to be pimps. Niggas want to be trappers and they the richest. And meanwhile, we just got a couple of dollars from the slave master. So that's especially with a Kanye. So I'll say most niggas want to be pimps, but Uncle Sam really pimping them. So when a nigga starts, losing themselves, like we don't have wealth. What they have is wealth. And yeah, this is a really sad song. I am Ras Kass, and this is the Line for Line. You heard?